Dr. Lucky Oribisa Aiyedatiwa. I've just been sworn in as governor of Ondo State less than 2 months ago. Having been a deputy governor of that state for 3 years. At other times, I've been acting governor and substantive governor for about a year after the passing of my immediate predecessor, Governor Oluwarotimi Okoya-Akerele, SANCON. So rest in peace.
Amen.
He's also here with us, I think representing the husband. We're all together. The world is here. Her Excellency, Mrs. Antonia Plazak.
Yes.
And her sister, the wife of the governor of Zamfara State, she's also here. I recognize you. Let me just also thank all the panelists, professionals with great ideas and knowledge, and with deliberate intentions to collaborate. I greet everyone and all the participants. It is a great honor for me, really, and I'm so excited to be here on the invitation of the organizers of this event. Today, we stand at a critical junction in human history where choices we make about our economic growth will determine our fate and that of our future generations. This is an intersection between crisis and opportunity. I say that because my nation is an oil-producing nation, and my state, Ondo State, is one of the oil-producing states in Nigeria. Our economy is being driven by what we get as revenue from oil production. And you know what that means to the environment. Now we're talking about green energy, sustainability, greener economy for the future of the planet Earth. There are crises and there are opportunities. I love when my sister was talking about solar energy. What is everywhere? That would want to drive me out of business. That's okay, but we must think about the planet first in everything we do. And the conversation has been on for many years. But for the fact that we're talking about it, we are moving forward. And the opportunity is also there for us to look deeper and further into other sources of revenue generation. That is the opportunity, even though there are crises. So the global climate emergency and some of the unsustainable economic models are compelling us to have a rethink on how, first of all, we finance development and how we forge partnerships that transcend borders, political divides, and economic disparities. And just right here, the panel talking about collaboration. We are at that crossroad wherefore we must either act, but we must all collaborate and work together. We cannot sit on the fence nor straddle anymore. Now, the 2023 Conference of Parties, which is codenamed COP28 Summit in United Arab Emirates, Dubai, we have found what we already know. Without bold and strategic investments and collaborative actions, our collective aspiration for net zero emissions and resilient economies will remain elusive. All these are tied to sustainable infrastructure that can help tackle climate crisis. We have somebody from Uganda also who spoke about electric car. That's about the pivotal role in the urgency of leveraging of financial innovation to build greener world. The green economy is economic framework that integrates considerations for the environment and sustainability into economic growth. Every nation wants their economy to grow, and you must also think about the environment. How do you integrate all of these together to create jobs for everyone? Like it's rightly put here that sustainable planet Earth is everybody, every individual's business. It aims to generate economic development and job creation while ensuring that we don't deplete the planet's natural resources, which are essential for our survival. The United Nations defined green economy as low carbon, resource efficient, and socially inclusive. In a green economy, growth in employment and income are driven by public and private investment into such economic activities, infrastructure, and assets that allow reduced carbon emission and pollution, enhanced energy and resource efficiency, thereby the prevention of the loss of biodiversity and ecosystem services. According to the 2024 Global Green Growth Index that measures the performance of countries in achieving sustainability targets, including Sustainable Development Goals, Paris Climate Agreement, and Aichi biodiversity targets for 4 growth dimensions: its efficient and sustainable resource use, green economic opportunities, natural capital protection, and social inclusion. The target for sustainability is 100. Only 44 countries hit the high score of 60 to 80 compliance, and they are mainly European countries. Most countries are within the average range of 40 to 60 out of 100, while the low-scoring countries between 20 and 40, and they are located in Africa and Asia. But stemming from the Conference of Parties 2024 that was held in Azerbaijan, one of the notable outcomes was the financing and developing countries to the tune of $300 billion by year 2035. This gives credence to the notion that green sustainability is not merely an environmental ambition, it's also an economic imperative. The United Nations Environment Program Unit defines responsible financing as an approach that aligns capital investment with environmental, social, and governance principles, ESG. Simply put, sustainable financing ensures that economic growth does not come at the expense of ecological balance and social equity. To buttress this, global financial institutions are already shifting this direction. The International Energy Agency, IEA, reports that in 2023 alone, over 1.7 trillion was invested in renewable energy, surpassing investment in fossil fuels. Furthermore, the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero, a coalition of over 450 financial institutions managing assets worth $130 trillion, has pledged to align investment with climate goals. For Africa and other emerging economies, sustainable financing is particularly crucial. The continent needs an estimated $2.8 trillion in climate finance by 2030. Yet current investment fall far short of this target. With its vast natural resources and young dynamic population, Africa is uniquely positioned to lead the green economy. The continent boasts 60% of the world's best solar energy potential because of the sun that we have, and holds immense untapped wind and hydro resources. Countries like Morocco, Kenya, South Africa are already leading large-scale renewable energy projects. According to the Sustainable Development Report Index on Goal 13, climate action shows that Africa is working towards realizing the climate action Sustainable Development Goal by 2030. Our major area that often stifles the growth potential of Africa is collaboration and partnership. Now, for us in Ondo State, we have a comparative advantage. Ondo State is one of the 6 states of the southwestern part of Nigeria. It is known as the Sunshine State. You can see the potential. So, Madam Solar Energy comes from this. Sunshine State. With a population of about 5.3 million. Good market. That is 2022 estimate. Ondo State is the 19th most populous state in the country, Nigeria, covering a land area of approximately 15,500 square meters. It borders Ekiti State to the north, Kogi State to the northeast, Edo State to the east, Delta State to the southeast, Ogun State to the southwest, Osun State to the northwest, and the Atlantic Ocean to the south. So from Ondo State, you can go to any part of the world. Now we have the longest coastline in entire Nigeria. In a nutshell, Ondo State is strategically located at the gateway to the western, southern, eastern, and northern parts of Nigeria. The economy of the state is predominantly routed in agriculture, green economy. We also have oil and gas, commerce and tourism. One of the cleanest beaches and waiting to be fully explored. So I want to know who will be the first one to come and build a beach house. You will. However, in recent times, following the federal government diversification drive, the state has opened up new frontiers for economic development, such as energy generation. It used to be on the exclusive list for the federal government funding. That has been amended, and the state can now generate their own power. So investors can come to invest in the power and energy sector in Nigeria, and more particularly Ondo State. We have in Ondo State the second largest bitumen deposit in the whole world. And some investors are already there who have obtained. That is still on exclusive list of the federal government. The state cannot issue license. You have to process your license at the federal level. When you get that, we can provide an enabling environment for you to do your mining. The state also have 2 mining licenses. We are waiting for investors that will partner with us. blue economy and entrepreneurship. These new frontiers are some of the ways through which the state has been internally resourcing its innovation and initiatives, climate action included. We have the sun, we have arable land, and we're also looking at blue economy, we have the ocean. So, the state currently contributes about 5.10 trillion to Nigeria's gross domestic product, GDP,
Wow.
placing her the 7th position out of the 36 states of the Federation. The state currently has the following 7 investment sectors, which indicates its potential to generate the needed resource for green economy. Ondo State has the largest cocoa production volume in Nigeria, by 80,000 metric tons per annum. Oil palm, which we call the Red Gold project, about 320,000 metric tons per annum. Cassava production, about 5 million metric tons per annum. And in fact, we have the first cassava to ethanol factory in Nigeria in Ondo State. So if you're a cassava grower, you have a ready market, apart from other local consumption. In agribusiness, comes to Ondo State, we are looking at last year. Energy mining, like I said, bitumen about 42 billion barrels, largely on tap. About 64 kilometers of natural gas. A combined 35 megawatt from solar and hydro sources from our Wena Dam and other dams that were built. In oil and gas, a current production rate of 60,000 barrels per day and about 44 billion in deposits, onshore and offshore. Information technology, communication technology, ICTs. We have University of Technology, we have 2 of them, producing graduates that have been making waves internationally and locally in ICT. Transportation and logistics, our waterways, and we also have an airport. And we have 3 different airlines that fly every day. So you can access us by air, by road, and by water. So you don't have to swim, you come by boat. In a bid to entrench this potential and drive it to fruition, the state under my leadership has created a creative policy pathway which prioritizes the environment. The R is, that is OUR, is, EASE. That is the 7 letters. They stand for the 7-point agenda, for us in Ondo State, to drive our policies which prioritizes the environment. 7-point developmental agenda is a holistic strategy aimed at making governance and service delivery seamless. For example, the O, which stands for order, security, and rule of law. But we believe that it's only when you have peace and rule of law that people can live happily, safely, go about their businesses, and also can seek redress when your rights are violated. The U in R, with the 2nd letter, stands for urban renewal development through agriculture and blue economy. The R, revolutionary technological advancement and industrialization. The first E talk about efficient healthcare and socioeconomic welfare. Letter A stands for adequate power and affordable energy. Then the S, sustainable infrastructural development and tourism. The last E talks about education, human capital development, and entrepreneurship. So our administration in Ondo State places priority on sustainability and has accordingly included that word in the sustainable infrastructural development and tourism. These we are doing with planting of trees, each home planting trees, home garden, agriculture, everything green. So for everything you do, the first thing you think about is the environment. That is the culture we're trying to build. Also, the development of and maintenance of urban green spaces has been included in the rural urban development through agriculture and blue economy pillars. Furthermore, Ondo State has always had a global perspective regarding the drafting of its policies, from the health program to our water scheme project. The state have developed templates worthy of global emulation. This shows that the state identifies with the global concerns and has taken measured steps towards actualizing some of them. In the same vein, as a firm believer in this goal, we have linked our 7-point agenda of our E's to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Our goal really is to think globally, but implement locally. The vision is to create a society where justice and security prevail, empowering communities to thrive through innovative and sustainable economic activities. By harnessing the potential of our natural resources in the state and advancing technological innovation, we shall build a resilient environment that guarantees the future of our people and provides opportunity for all. We have to secure our future through action. First, to achieve a sustainable future, we must continue to adopt a multifaceted approach that integrates responsible financing, innovation, collaboration, and strategic partnerships. Key steps which will include strengthening the green finance policies. Us as policymakers and influencers, government must implement policies that incentivize investment in renewable energy, carbon neutral industries, and climate adaptation projects. All of these projects should enjoy some tax holidays from the government to further encourage them. And whenever they need some kind of land for operation, the government should be willing to give and provide an enabling environment for such institutions. Enhancing regional and global cooperation. Reason why we are here, we're also in Paris discussing various economic ties and partnership. So we appreciate and we know that this is very important, global cooperation, especially getting financing and technical support from those countries that are ahead. For example, AFD supporting our water scheme and the technical support, trying to qualify the contractors that the training of those that will be managing it. Cross-border projects such as the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFTA, can integrate green trade policies, fostering sustainable economic growth. Leveraging technology, the artificial intelligence, blockchain, and smart grids can optimize energy management and enhance efficiency in sustainable projects. Ensuring social inclusivity, very important. Sustainability effort must prioritize the marginalized communities. We have all of these communities, local communities in our state, but we try also, like the Mama Solar Energies, that is what we also support our rural communities with. So they cannot be on the national grid. We also provide solar energy for them to have a place, better life in rural communities. Transitioning into green economy is not just an environmental necessity, it is an economic opportunity. The Global Commission on the Economy and Climate estimates that sustainable investment will generate now, apart from the spending, can also generate income, $26 trillion in global economic benefits by 2030, while creating 65 million new jobs. Sustainable urban planning reduces pollution mitigate climate risk, and improve quality of life. Climate-smart agriculture ensures food security, smart farming, while preserving the ecosystem. Sustainable tourism models protect biodiversity and creating economic opportunities. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the transition to green economy is not an option, it is an imperative. The challenge before us is immense, yes, but so is the opportunity. Advancing sustainability through responsible financing and peaceful partnerships is not mere an option also, it is an obligation. The transition to a greener economy requires unwavering commitment. We have to be committed to it, bold leadership that will to take decisions irrespective of the immediate deprivation, and unprecedented collaboration. We must move beyond rhetoric to action, beyond promises to implementation. It is important for Africa and the world to seize this moment to forge a sustainable future, one where economic growth and environmental stewardship goes hand in hand. Together, through strategic investment and global unity, we can build a world where economies thrive in harmony with nature, which is possible. The time for action is now. Let us rise to the challenge and create a legacy of sustainability for generations to come. Once again, it's my pleasure to be here, and I thank you all for this rare privilege accorded me as one of the.
Before His Excellency has to rush back to Paris, we feel it is an honour of ourselves to give you an award for the way that you do in your local state, your local community.
This is nice.